Today, I would like to provide an overview of the manuscript's content. This will be part of our second lesson in Academic Writing and Publishing 101. I will also explain how you can easily download the free template I mentioned in our first lesson. Together, we walk through the template to help you kickstart your academic writing journey throughout this course. So let's jump right into today's lesson, shall we? Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a fantastic day. This is Annie from Environment. Throughout this lesson, I will refer to the term manuscript, so it's important to first clarify its meaning and how it differs from an article. In this context, both terms describe academic papers. However, a manuscript is essentially an early draft of your academic writing. It's referred to as a manuscript until it has been peer-reviewed and accepted for publication. The term manuscript typically applies when the work is still in the development stage and hasn't yet gone through the formal process of publication. It can also denote a work that is still in progress prior to being finalized. An article is a finalized piece of writing that has been published in a journal, typically a scholarly or research-oriented work that has undergone the peer review process. Once a manuscript is accepted, revised, and made public, it becomes an article. It's that simple. To start off today's lesson, I would like to help you download the free template I shared during our first lesson of Academic Writing and Publishing 101, just in case you haven't had a chance to get it yet. You can visit my website at anniefromenvironment.squarespace.com. I will include the link in the description below. Once you are on the main page, look for the little planet Earth icon and click on Classes. Then scroll down until you spot Academic Writing and Publishing 101. After that, keep scrolling until you find Learn More button and give it a click. This will take you to the course content where you can see the uploaded chapters. Click on Lesson 1 and then scroll down to the bottom of the page to click on Download Free Template. A pop-up window will appear, so make sure you have pop-ups enabled. Otherwise, the file will end up in your Downloads folder automatically. Once that's done, you will have a Microsoft Word template ready to use, so you can easily add content in each section as you progress. Now that you have the template, let's open it. This template was provided in a Microsoft Word file, making it easily customizable. It has all the necessary sections for submission to a publishing journal. A manuscript typically follows a standard format. The free template ensures that yours is organized correctly for any journal. Of course, you may need to modify a few details to align with the specific article structure of your chosen journal. The first thing you might notice is the continuous line numbering along the side. These line numbers serve as a helpful reference for both authors and reviewers, making it easy to pinpoint which parts of the manuscript need correction or adjustment. This system is particularly useful during the peer review process. By using line numbers, reviewers, editors, and collaborators can refer to specific sections of the manuscript more accurately. For instance, rather than saying on the third page, they can say on line number 25, which adds clarity. This direct referencing of particular lines helps streamline the editing process and minimizes the risk of any misunderstandings. Then you have the title that serves as the headline for your article, acting as a key draw for your audience. An engaging title captures attention and encourages readers to dive deeper into the content. Make it appealing while ensuring it remains focused and specific. I will provide some tips in a future lesson on how to craft an effective title. Then you have the list of authors. It would be best to list only authors who have made an intellectual contribution to the research, but I will discuss some matters related to authorship later in the lesson on scientific etiquette. So first we have the first author, who conducts the study or experiment and does most of the writing. The first author writes the first draft of the manuscript, and the rest of the authors review it, make some changes, and give suggestions. Most of the time, the advisor comes as the last author who supervises the research project, has the funds, and helps with the writing. There are sometimes co-authors between the first and the last author. Co-authors are those who make intellectual contributions to the manuscript and who participate in the research project. Then you can see superscript numbers next to the authors' names. These numbers indicate the author's affiliation, which is the institution or place where an author conducted the research project that is presented in the manuscript. This institution should include the country too. For example, you can say Harvard John A. Paulson School of Engineering and Applied Sciences, Boston, Massachusetts, United States. You will notice the small asterisks next to the author's names. This asterisk indicates the corresponding author or authors. The corresponding author will communicate with the journal's editor. Therefore, they must provide their email and work address. While it may seem unnecessary in our digital age to list your full work address, considering that physical letters are rarely sent, it's still important to include this information. Then I listed org IDs as optional. Org ID is essentially a research ID that helps distinguish you and claim credit for your work, regardless of how many people share your name or have a similar one. You can always obtain one for free through orgid.org. Highlights and graphical abstract, and these are optional elements that depend on the journal to which you submit your manuscript. Some journals may require them while others may not. Highlights are typically consist of 3 to 5 bullet points, with each point having a maximum of 85 characters, including spaces. These highlights should concisely summarize the novel results of your research and any new methods used in your study. They can enhance the discoverability of your article through search engines. A graphical abstract provides a visual summary of your article's main findings and can be a useful addition. Keywords are essential for indexing purposes and typically range from 1 to 5 words, although the required number may vary depending on the journal. It's important that keywords do not contain multiple words connected by and or of. Abbreviations should only be used if they are all well established in the field, such as DNA. The list of keywords should capture important terms relevant to your research, effectively representing the work you are presenting. Selecting appropriate keywords can greatly improve your article's visibility to other researchers. Consider using terms that researchers are likely to use in search engines. Let me show you some examples of keywords. I have to clarify that I didn't write these articles, I didn't participate in the research, and I don't know the authors. So I have an example here from Science of the Total Environment, and the title of this article is "The concentration of organic nitrogen in mountain lakes is increasing as a result of reduced acid deposition and climate change." As you can see, this article has highlights and graphical abstract because it was required by the journal. So let's take a look at the keywords here: long-term trends, acidification, recovery, climate change, phosphorus, and weathering. Look at the article's goal, the objective. They say they investigated the evolution of organic nitrogen, dissolved organic carbon, and phosphorus concentrations in alpine lakes in the Tatra Mountains, Central Europe between 1993 and 2023, resulting from changes in climate and the ionic composition of atmospheric deposition. So that explains the long-term trends, the climate change, phosphorus. Then we can see some weathering later in the results. I think the recovery implies for the results or the method. Some journals like Nature Communications, however, might not require any keywords at all. Here's another example for keywords. Let's take a look at the title, Extent and Effects of Microplastic Pollution in Soil with Focus on Recycling of Sewage Sludge and Composted Household Waste. An experience from the long-term field experiment, crucial. So we have microplastic, we have organic resources, sewage sludge, we have fertilizers. For the results section, we have the soil health. So let's take a look at the objective. Here we review the extent and possible consequences of microplastic pollution in soil with focus on waste product recycling. We summarize the results from studies that have measured microplastic concentration in soil and waste products. So actually this is an example for a literature review article. That's all for today. The rest of the template content will have its own dedicated video later, so stay tuned for those upcoming videos. The foundation we covered today should help you kickstart your academic writing journey. Please feel free to post your questions and concerns in the comments. I'll do my best to address them within the available time. I hope to have you in the next lesson, where I will share some tips to help you identify the research gap that will lead you to your research questions and hypotheses. See you all in the third Academic Writing and Publishing 101 lesson.